My name is Sam. I am an artist here at Pinot's Palette, a stage artist, so I teach the classes. I have my associates in fine arts from Community College of Morris, and I also have my associates in psychology from there. And then currently I'm a psych student at Rutgers University. Pinot's Palette is a paint and sip. It's actually a franchise, so we have almost 200 locations across the country. There is, I believe, around 17 in New Jersey, so people really like to come out and paint, or they really like to come out and drink. I don't know. I think they might like to come out and drink, but you know, I teach the paintings, so I hope they like that too. Day to day, I come into the studio, lights are off, music's off, chairs are up on the tables, so immediately I come in and I start setting up. We really have to hustle when we're setting up because we want the studio to be completely set before the first guest walks in, and this way they come in and they just walk into the whole experience. So when the guests come in, the music should be up loud, it should be a fun atmosphere, canvases should be ready, their names are written on the table in chalk so that they know where they're sitting and they can sit with their friends. So when I get here, I'm setting up, I put out easels, water cups, brushes, paint, paper towels, anything that they would need for the painting. And then as soon as I'm finished setting up, I'm standing by the door to greet the guests as they come in. After that, we start the painting, and I'm up here on stage with a mic and I'm walking everybody through the painting step by step. So I tell them, okay, pick up the big brush and get the blue paint and paint the sky, and then that's what we all do together. I'm up here painting along with them, and then I'll jump off stage and walk around and see if they have any questions or if they need help with anything. To prepare for a class, I have to complete a copy of the painting ahead of time. So I know what painting that I'm going to be teaching, and I need to completely go through that painting. I know all the steps, all the colors that we're going to be using, and have a finished copy. And I like to have that, we're supposed to have that done 2 weeks in advance so that people are coming by the studio, they might drop in. A lot of times people will come by the studio and ask to see an upcoming painting. So we like to have that done a couple weeks ahead of time so that they can actually physically see it instead of just looking at an image online. I like to also just look through how I want to teach the steps of the painting and make sure that I'm prepared so I know how far we should be into the painting with all of our timing. So if we're halfway through the painting, okay, we should be at least to this step, and I can keep everybody on track. My favorite part about my job would honestly have to be the atmosphere. It's really great to come into work and have people come in and they're excited to see you and they're happy to be here. It's a really fun place to be, even though I am working. And I really like seeing how all the paintings come out. Every painting comes out so differently, even though everybody's getting the same instruction and we're all going off of the same image. Everyone's painting is customized to their style and how they paint. And so it's really, really fun to see someone working really hard on a painting, and sometimes they're frustrated and they don't like it, and then at the end they step back and they're just really proud of themselves that they accomplished that and they made that and they love it. That's probably my favorite part. I get nervous teaching a class every single time, and I hate public speaking. To teach a painting to someone who has never painted before, it's not as hard as it sounds. Like I mentioned before, we're going through step by step. So I'm starting on stage with a blank canvas just like they are, and I will walk them through every single part of the painting. So I'll tell them where to put each color on the canvas. If they're having a really hard time, you can sit with them and kind of help show them, especially like kids who have never painted before. A lot of the time, instead of just telling them, oh, paint this part of the canvas this color, it is really beneficial to just sit with them for 2 or 3 minutes and show them how to hold the brush and how it's best to get all of the paint off of the brush, and you don't want it to be globby, you want it to be all smooth, and just showing them little techniques that some people take for granted, like how to properly use the brush, helps a lot throughout the whole painting. It's not super difficult to break down the steps of the painting, especially since I'm recreating the paintings ahead of time. So I know exactly what I did to make the finished painting look the way that it does, and I just walk the whole group through it. A lot of times, even if you think that a step is super, super complicated, it's really not as bad as it seems. And if you take the time to explain to people why you're doing things in the technique that you're doing, they actually get really happy and excited that they're learning something about painting, and the whole process goes smoother in the long run. People should come to a wine and paint class for whatever reason they want. Some people come to paint a pretty painting, some people come to get trashed. So it's really a personal preference. We sell an experience, so Unlike going to the movies and just having a night out and having an experience, we have an experience where you have a great night out with your friends. People are really happy and laughing all the time. They're singing along to the music, but you also have a takeaway from it. So you have a painting that you get to walk out with and something to remember your night by. My advice to pursue a career in art is to just work on your technique and build your portfolio. Building your portfolio is, I would say, one of the number one things. You want to show a lot of diversity in your portfolio so that people know that you can work in lots of different mediums, and that's what you're going to represent yourself by. So build your portfolio, take the time to make it digital, and have really nice copies or a website that you can give out to future employers.